evening, and welcome to Metaphysical Today. I'm Aeson, and of course, I'm sitting down with premier famous psychic Hazel Firefly. How are you, darling?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Wonderful, actually. I'm doing really good. It's been a great morning. We've gotten some things took care of. I'm getting bit by the cat, and I'm doing a little super focus. Yeah, you and your Diet Coke.
Hi, Devon.
Hello, Devon. Hello, Brenda. How are you? It's been a week. It's going to be an exciting week this week. I've got two events coming up. One, I'm doing my second TikTok live. This one's scheduled. It's called Coffee with Aeson. We're going to spend about an hour. I'm going to do some questions. We're going to have some fun over there. Oh, you hit Devon's sweet spot. She's addicted to Diet Coke.
I love Diet Coke.
Yeah, I'm really getting into these Black Rifles. I got to watch them, though, because they've got super focused, and they got something that makes me focus. This will be hyper. And then on Saturday, Patreons, you get in free, but we're doing gallery readings that evening.
Ooh, that's interesting.
It is. It's a paid event. So that'll be, if you're not a part of our Patreon, you can either go join our Patreon and still get into the event, or you go to my website and get tickets. I'm not sure how much it is. I'll have to look and see. So that's what I'm up to. Those are events you can join us along with our lives. So with that, what about you this week?
I got baby tomorrow.
Aw.
I've got the rest of the week pretty quiet.
Yeah.
Pretty quiet, but ladies, I've got something to share with you. Aeson have already seen it and loves it.
Yes.
I'm going to run over the cat with my chair, but
the cat will forgive you. She got her tat. That is adorable.
My little grandson is with me all day, every day now, not just when his mummy goes to work.
Yes. And remember, the tattoo is still new, and the colors get more vivid as it heals.
Yes, I wanted something bright and vibrant.
Yes, and deep colored. So you got inked.
I did get inked.
Yes.
I did.
All right. So we're having some fun discussions about relationships, not on this side, because we talk about those all the time. On the other side, people make this so complicated.
Look, it's 10:10 at night. I need something easy at this time of night.
Exactly. Because it is easy. Okay? This is how easy it is. When we get to the other side, we don't care. What I mean by that is, like, if Grandma married Phil as the first husband, he goes off and dies and pops out of here at 45, and she remarries John at 60. Then at 89, because John's already dead, she remarries Phil. She marries another Phil. When she gets to the other side, they don't care. They're like us.
It's a free-for-all.
Well, it's a free-for-all, but it's not a free-for-all. It's one of those, she gets to choose if she's going to live with any of them, or she's going to have a cottage or not.
She gets to fuck them and chuck them.
Uh-huh.
And test drive them first.
On this side, I think the harder question, and this is something that gets people all the time, especially those that are, Granddad was really abusive to Grandma. Does that mean that she has to, put up with him on the other side?
No. Can I just say for our regular viewers, don't forget, this isn't the same conversation that we had a few weeks ago about passing over.
Right.
I don't want the two to get confused, because you know what some of our viewers are like.
Yeah.
So they're two totally different subjects.
Right. Here's the question. Here's the thing that everyone has been hearing a lot of talk about, especially if you watch Sister Wives, is the eternal affinity, and being sealed to somebody or being married to somebody means that you get to spend the afterlife with them. Here's the hard answer to that. Not if you don't fucking want to.
It comes down to your own personal choices, the same as it do on the earth plane.
Exactly.
Oh, didn't like my fucking ex-husband now, and I'm certainly not going up there with him.
Exactly. You know, and a lot of people get so confused on this.
Oh, bless you.
Sorry, the cat's getting to me already today. Is people think that because they're on the other, they were married here, they put up with each other. Thank goodness he had a car accident because brakes went out on the way home from his mistresses. That doesn't mean. We'll get to Brenda's comment. That doesn't mean that she then has to put up with him on the other side. No.
No.
Oh, please, this isn't here enough. I know Mom is nowhere near Dad. Probably not. Okay.
But that's the thing. People's perception of heaven. Brenda, piss off!
She's got her ticket on.
People's perception of heaven is totally different.
Uh-huh.
But then I suppose everybody's perception of heaven is what they want it to be.
It is. And the reason is we understand the other side by our level of understanding.
Yeah.
Okay. In theory, there are so many multiple theories on the other side. It's insane. Yeah. And we haven't talked about this, but maybe we should talk about this. Okay, let's go with theory 1, the more popular one. There's 2 levels. One is considered hell, and the other one is considered heaven, with a bunch of pearly gates and gold streets, and you're walking around in white robes all day.
Bullshit.
Bullshit. Right. We'll set that one to the side. Then there's Summerlands, which is basically AKA the Garden of Eden, AKA, everything's all green and flourishing, and we just find our way, and it's always day, and we never get tired, and we never sleep, and we don't have to eat if we don't want to, and it's just all possibility. We're not exactly sure. We have had, the information we have are from people who have gotten glimpses, the people that have had near-death experiences, which means they got into the first level, and then we have what I call channeled information. Channeled information is kind of like information we get from our guides, information we get from, or other people get from their guides, information that occurs, tablet information, which, if we're looking at the future comparative to the past, someone from the 1700s would look at us and go, oh my God, this is heaven. Y'all guys don't have to stoke a fire. Y'all guys don't have to go out and shuck a chicken. And it's like debatable if they were just looking at reincarnation.
But the other thing is as well,
mm-hmm.
people need to realize that before you go to heaven, this is one aspect that people think happens. You die at, say, midday. By 1 o'clock, you're in heaven. No. That's not the way it works. It takes time. It
does. It takes, on average, the belief system is up to 30 days. If we look at all the belief systems, which makes sense. nobody's coming to pick you up at any moment of the day. They come and then they got to get you to convince that you're dead.
I always say 6 months between the time somebody have passed to doing a reading on them.
Right. And the reason for that is because they got to get over. They got to do their review. In any religion, every religion has some form of reviewing your life.
Yeah.
Then you got to figure out, okay, how do I use this? We will use the word heaven, but the other side to living, telephone system. Then you have to get comfortable with a stranger popping into our world, which is what we technically do, us or our guides, pop into the world and like, Brenda wants to talk to you. Well, I don't want to fucking talk to her.
Oh, for fuck's sake, haven't she spoken to enough people today?
Or I'm not ready, I'm not ready, or oh my God, what is wrong? You got to think of the real life experiences, because probably up to about 1.5 to 2 years, they're still walking around with their this here consciousness. Okay.
And I will add,
Uh-huh.
on times we can't connect with that person.
Mm-mm.
It's like they are saying, fuck off, you nagged me enough when I was alive. And they don't want to speak. Right. That happens as well.
Or they're still getting that grief, we get grief on this side, they get grief on that side.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to talk to her. I'm still mad at her because she put me in a wood box when I wanted a steel box.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because spirit do have wobbles. They still have tantrums and throw their toys out the pram.
Exactly. They still have emotional issues left over.
Yeah. Yeah.
They still have wants, desires, and thoughts, and it's like, no, not interested.
Yeah.
Not going to be interested. She can go piss off, as you say.
And if you think you're going to get an apology off spirit for you doing them wrong, you got no chance.
I won't say you have no chance. I will say the chance is low. Okay. They also don't get it.
No.
Okay. But at the same time, they don't care.
No. They don't have to care. They don't have to please nobody.
Themselves.
Yeah. But
okay.
You know what it's like. You get to that certain age where you're like, I've done what I've needed to do. I'm now going to do what I have to.
Exactly. Or do what I want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Or there is crossed over guilt, which can be an issue.
Yeah.
I left them. I didn't get to spend time with them. So we have that going on. Plus, they're dealing with, do I want you in my plane of existence or not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's it, Devon.
Yeah.
You've hit the nail on the head. Me, myself, and I.
Yeah. And they just want to focus on that.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, imagine you wake up tomorrow and everything you've ever known in your life has been proven wrong. What I mean by that is, you're raised in a dogmatic, heavily demanding religion. There's a number of them out there. And we'll talk about her question in a minute. And you get on the other side, and it's none of what you were taught.
Yeah.
You don't get harp lessons. They look at you and go, what do you want to wear? And you're like, where's my white robe and crown? I was told I was have a crown with 13 stars in it for every, thing I'd done. And it's
I
like,
don't
that's not how this is, sweetie. We can give
know.
you a crown if you want a crown.
It's a paper one, they'll break within a day.
Well, again, weird, coming out of the, I've heard so many times that the more you suffer on this side of the plane, the larger and more impressive your crown will be on the other side.
Yeah.
Oh, they'll put a star in your crown in heaven. The number of times I heard that statement when something horrific or somebody's family was going through something horrific is unimaginable.
Yeah.
Now, let's talk about this subject because I have a belief that is probably controversial. Mom passed after 13 years of dementia. I'm sure it took her a while to heal all that. This is my belief on dementia. It is probably controversial. I believe dementia is the pause button on like a video. So when they get over there, it's like, who started the movie again? It takes them a while to adjust. It takes them a while to get out of that stuck position. So if your family member happens to cross with dementia, it might be that you want to wait a little longer than 6 months.
Yeah. Because they've got all those years that they've missed out on to catch up on.
Right.
And with dementia, my way of thinking is, with dementia, they go back to the time where they were happy.
Mm-hmm.
When they're living, that is.
Yep.
They go back to that stage where they were happy. If you think about it, a lot of, especially the ladies with dementia, go back to when their children were born.
Some.
Because that's their happy stage.
Right. Clarification. Aeson used to work a dementia ward.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And what I saw in that ward was fascinating.
Yeah.
These are the tribulations of being a psychic and working in healthcare. Is the dementia ward, you had to find where they were.
There you go. Yeah.
You have to find where things are at. Sometimes that's when they just had children. Sometimes that's when they were 16 to 18.
Yeah.
And looking for daddy. Sometimes that is when they were working. The number of women that went through dementia in the early 2000s and were talking about getting a job, learning to drive, learning to operate, being upset that they're going to be late from work to fix dinner was astounding.
Yeah.
Okay, the number of times I had to explain to them that their neighbor already got the kids off the bus and had dinner ready was astounding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And I think that's just where they go back to a stage that they remember for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think with dementia they go back to a particular, how can I explain this? They go back to that age because there's something there that they need to finish and something that they enjoyed in a strange way.
Most times.
Yeah.
Most times. Sometimes they trickle.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that pause tape is kind of like on rewind and fast forward at the same time. The number of times people were looking for their husbands that had long crossed over was interesting. And here is why. And this is an experience I had. I had a patient, she was 112 years old, full dementia, stage 3, which means she is talking and not recognizing what's around her. She is in this world. She was in love with a gentleman in her, I would say 18, 19s, that the family at that time did not approve of. The number of times she looked for Bucky and I had to say he was still at the mines or he's not here yet was astounding.
Yeah.
Okay. Her roommate would always look for her husband to come home from work. I don't care if it's 3 o'clock in the morning. I've got to get ready for, and it's like, honey, no, you don't. I'm just going back to bed. It's, he's working overnight tonight, honey. He had to work overtime at the mines.
Yeah.
Okay. I think when we get into healthcare, there's a disconnect in today's modern care because they want to reiterate, no, honey, he passed away 20 years ago.
Yeah.
4 and 5 times a day, that person would go into immediate grief.
And that's the thing. I'm not going to say poorly, because that's not, they are as such. They've gone back to this stage in their life to live again.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't believe in saying, well, no, your husband died.
Right.
Because they don't need that extra hurt. They've lived it once. They've gone back to a different stage in their life so that they can have the happiness and leave the sadness behind them.
Right. Very much so. The other part of this is I don't think they collect memories after that last memory. What I mean by that is, like Brenda is talking about here, I was picturing her collecting back all those memories. I think from the onset of Alzheimer's until the body finally shuts down, their tape stops.
Yeah.
Okay. So they don't have to go back and go, oh my God. So she divorced her and picked up him and then divorced him and then had another kid here. No, their tape stops when the tape stops playing. Because I don't think that their soul fully records everything they miss and they have to wash themselves in that state of pause.
And I believe spiritually, they're not meant to have those recorded. If that makes sense.
It does.
They've been taken back to a different, I'm going to say different era then.
Yeah.
For a reason.
Right.
There's something in the part that they've lived they are not supposed to record for some reason.
Right. And I think that, like, let's say the last active memory when the brain was beginning to fail to record, which is what dementia basically is.
Yeah.
I know, I understand there's this large medical thing about plaques in the brain and yada yada. The last memory, let's say the last memory the soul records is her grandson graduating high school or her buying a new car. And then, maybe her memory starts failing and there's some spotted tape. And then there's a point when the memory stops recording.
Yeah.
Okay. When they disconnect from the current reality. And that may be hard. And that's why I say it's controversial.
And that's why I think it's good that we have these debates.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not so much a debate this evening, it's a conversation.
Right.
So that we can help other people perhaps understand things better.
Right.
Because spirit world is so... When people say, what's spirit world like? My answer is always expect the unexpected.
My answer is it's a little to the left and about 3 foot off.
Yeah. Yeah.
What I mean by that, and very few people get that movie reference anymore, but it's a reference from Peter Pan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reason being is when I look at spirit, they're about 3 foot off.
Yeah. Okay. Because we do get to see what they look like we get visions.
Right.
Before anybody says, well, how do you see them? When you're connected with spirit and your guide, they show you this information.
Right. But especially when they're in that waiting pattern.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Sylvia also quoted that. Now, guys, remember I trained a lot through Novus, so that, so I'll have a lot of those comments.
Well, I'm sorry, Peter. I'm not coming with you. I'm afraid of heights.
But no, when you look at spirit, and let's say that we're having a setting, which isn't done a lot anymore. I know it's an old spiritualist practice. Even the modern spiritualist church, I don't think, does settings anymore. The spirit always seems to be about 3 foot off of their interaction. That's why I find it interesting when they go, oh, he's standing to the left of you, so it must be your father's side.
I don't believe in that crap.
I don't say I don't believe in it. I say that it's a technique that works.
For me, it don't.
Okay, and that's fine.
Because if they're standing behind you, how are you going to see them?
Right.
So for me, a visualization is no matter where anybody's standing, they're in front of me.
Right.
So that's what I mean when I don't believe in that. If they stood behind you, you're not going to see them.
Right. And I think, but for me, from the perspective of the city versus the sitter, it's a reflection and it's a symbolization. And I think that's what people also get confused in mediumship, is it is a ton of symbolization.
Yeah. And I think that's where, as mediums go, they have their own direct way of working with spirit.
Right.
Their spirit guide have grown with them.
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to say to Kathy, who stood over there on the left, she would say to me, "Don't be so fucking stupid, I can't see."
Right.
Because I'm working directly with her that way, not
Right.
asking her to look who's around.
Right. But for me, and when I'm done mediumship, and this is why I do not do, let me restate this for everyone to be clear. Aeson is a psychic. Aeson is not a psychic medium. Aeson is a psychic that can do in-person mediumship readings. Now, there's a little bit of a caveat. Aeson can do a semi-mediumship reading if you have a direct question about someone who has passed over, but it is a translation. What I mean by that is when I am not sitting in front of you, so therefore your spirits are with you, then I have to work through David.
Yeah.
Okay. So
David is boisterous, by the way. David can be really harsh like Kathy.
Very. And what I mean by that is then we play a game of telephone. What I mean by that is you ask me the question. I then ask David the question. David then goes to the spirit guide. The spirit asks the question, comes back to me, and then I say what I get. Now, people do not like some of the answers they get because it's like, but that was so. No, it wasn't.
The other thing people can't understand with mediumship readings is when the person was alive, the person felt they had to keep the situation going. When they've passed over, they don't give a shit. They got nothing more to prove to someone.
Right.
So the answer you get is not necessarily the answer that you wanted.
Right. Whereas when I'm in, let me answer this question. Where does David show up since that's different? When
Brenda, you should know when he comes to your house for dinner, David's there as well.
Right. But in a mediumship reading, the difference is David's role changes. When David's role changes, we sit down for our mediumship reading. David allows people to come to me without allowing others to come.
Yeah.
And here's why. Let's say the energy is a lower vibration. What I mean by that is they have not progressed in their soul creation to be able to safely lower their vibration to connect with me. because they are higher vibration than I am, but some people aren't able to connect down. Maybe they're not ready, maybe they're not progressed, maybe,
He's like an extension of those energies to bring the person closer to yourself.
Right. However,
that's the way
it can only work so tight.
Yeah. And you'll find a lot of us mediums will always ask for the name and the date of birth of the person that you're trying to connect.
Right.
And the date that they passed.
Right.
We ask that information so that we are not going through. Most people have had quite a few family members die or friends. So we're asking for that information so that we are not wasting our guides' energies going through everybody that's passed away around you to get you to the person you want to speak to. That's why we ask that information straight up, so that then we can say to our guides, right, this client wants to speak to Derek. He's 29, he passed on, so that they can go through those files a lot quicker and come directly to that person rather than going around the globe. Is that an easy way, do you think, to explain it?
Well, it is, but for some people, it gets complicated. And let's use the name John David first.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say that you want to talk to John David, and John David's father was named John David. Yeah. And John David's father was named John David, and the third cousin was named John David the third, and yada, yada, yada. Instead of going, I need the person connected to this person whose name is John David, and David goes, which one are the 27?
Yeah, and that's why the date of birth is so important to us as readers.
Very much so. All right, let's take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about a few other things that people need to be aware of.
Love diving into metaphysical topics, psychic insights, and lively discussions? Now you can help keep the conversation going. By becoming a Patreon supporter of The Psychic Coffee Shop, you'll gain access to exclusive content, behind-the-scenes insights, and special perks just for our patrons. Join our community and ensure that your favorite psychic show continues to thrive. Your support helps us bring more enlightening episodes, special guests, and deep dives into the world of the unseen. Become a patron today and enjoy a cup of wisdom with us every week. Click the link to join the baristas and unlock exclusive content. Thank you for your support.
Unlock your full potential with Aeson Knight's life coaching. Are you ready to take control of your life and manifest the future you deserve? Aeson Knight, a seasoned life coach and master psychic, is here to guide you on a transformative journey. Whether you're navigating personal challenges, career transitions, or seeking spiritual growth, Aeson's life coaching services offer tailored guidance to help you achieve your goals. With Aeson by your side, you'll discover the tools to overcome obstacles, embrace your true self, and create a life filled with purpose and fulfillment. His unique blend of spiritual insight and practical coaching empowers you to turn your dreams into reality. Ready to make a change? Book your session today and start your journey to a more empowered, balanced, and joyful life with Aeson Knight. Click the link to schedule your first session and step into your power.
Are you ready for an electrifying podcast experience that keeps you coming back for more? Join Aeson Knight every week as he takes you on a journey through captivating shows, each exploring unique and fascinating topics. And here's the best part. By subscribing, you'll never miss an episode where you can get your burning questions answered live on air, absolutely free. Whether it's relationship advice, career guidance, or mystical insights, Aeson's podcasts have got you covered. When you subscribe, you become part of a vibrant community, engaging directly with Aeson as he shares his wisdom and leaves you feeling empowered and enlightened. Don't miss out. Subscribe now and be part of the conversation. What you'll get by subscribing: Monday 5 p.m. Metaphysics. Today, Soulful Conversations with Aeson Knight and Firefly, exploring the essence of metaphysics in today's world. Tuesday 8 p.m. The Psychic Coffee Shop. Dive into current events with a psychic twist, featuring special guests and thought-provoking discussions. Friday, 9 p.m., the Mountain Bears podcast, lively discussions from a gayish, techie-ish, bearish perspective with Aeson and Joe. Sunday, 5 p.m., Psychic That Plans. Get a weekly tarot energy overview and time management tips from Aeson Knight. Click here to subscribe now and never miss an episode. By subscribing, you're not just tuning in, you're joining a community of curious minds and ensuring you're always in the loop with Aeson's insightful and interactive shows. Don't wait. Hit that subscribe button and get ready for an amazing podcast journey.
Ready for an enchanting journey of self-discovery? Join Lord Aeson Knight in our Wicca courses. Unveil the secrets of Wicca. Explore deity relationships, rituals, and more. As a third-degree high priest, Aeson Knight guides you toward empowerment and enlightenment. Enroll today and take your first step into the magical circle. Click the link to begin your journey.
Psychic Saturday. Get 50% off with Aeson Knight every third Saturday of the month. Don't miss out. Book now.
All right. So this is the next thing we're going to take on. These show mediums. And the reason I call them show medium is because they drive me nuts. You have an audience of like 500 people.
Don't get me started. My pet hate.
You're going to get started probably. And they go, okay, so I've got a Jay here. Who has somebody in a family member's name is Jay?
Me.
Okay. They passed from a heart attack.
Me.
Okay. They drove a blue car.
Ooh, that's me again.
Okay. So
and
there
Brenda at the back.
And Brenda, and all this. Okay. That's not how it works.
No, it's not. That was a good bit of acting by me.
That was a great bit of acting by you.
And
the other thing that drives me crazy.
Yeah.
When you go to see a professional, real medium in a group setting, they're not going to give these little tidbits. Okay? They're not going to be doing what's called a cold reading. They're also not going to do a hot reading. And a hot reading is where they go, I have someone by the name of John. He would have been a father figure. He would have had a heart attack. And he would have passed in 2003.
Yeah.
That's called a hot reading. That means that their team has social medially stalked you.
Yes. When somebody books in for a reading with me, all I want is their first name and their contact details. That could be a telephone number, email address, but not, how can I put this? I need some form of communication details in case something goes wrong my side and I can't give that reading at the arranged time. I don't want to know any second names. I don't want to know what part of the world you come from. All I want is your first name and contact details in case something goes wrong my side.
Right. And for me, I want you to do your booking page. Your booking page is all my legal shit. And the reason I have legal shit is because I have insurance writers and lawyers that say this is how this is. Yeah.
And my website will be up and running soon.
Soon. Very soon.
Yeah.
And she'll have the same thing.
Yes.
But, the system handles all that. And all I see is, Brenda has a reading at 3:30 and her phone number is 304-1330-33.
Yeah.
Okay, and then we get into the call. I don't have time. I don't do social media stalking. I don't befriend you on social media. Not my deal.
I wish we had time for that,
Oh, honey, I just got the number of clients. Like, we are almost, I don't know, like, I've got to do the statistics, but I'm almost up to 2,000 readings this year alone.
Yeah.
If not more.
Yeah.
We're going to take care of this other comment below here in a minute, because I have an issue with that one too.
And I do.
I don't do cold readings. That means I'm not going to just do a blank reading on somebody. I'm not going to and this is why I say I am a psychic. I am not a medium. I'm almost to a medium. I'm like some clothes I am a medium in, but I'm not a medium. The reason for that is I can't do trans mediumship. I'm too much of a control freak to let anybody use my vehicle.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm technically, my reading style is technically called mental mediumship, which means the information is brought to me and I pass off what information I glean from that.
Yeah.
There's a big difference between that and what people expect as mediumship. I also don't do cold readings. That's not my deal. I don't need to hunt for who needs to talk to me.
And if somebody approaches me outside when I'm shopping, book me through my page. I will not speak business while I'm not in the house, because while I'm out, that's my downtime.
Let's talk about this one. Teresa Computo. The reason I do not care for her, I don't know about her mediumship abilities. I haven't graded her on mediumship abilities. Her ethics suck like a dick. You do not read somebody in a store. You do not read.
No.
You do not give messages.
No.
Without permission. You do not do it in public. What I see her do on the show, I don't care if it's set up or not.
You don't do it.
Is like flashing somebody.
It's an invasion of privacy.
Highly.
And confidentiality laws.
Yes, like she is breaking so many of them. I don't care if they preset her up or whatever. That is bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. Mugs people in public with messages. Very much so. I really get pissed. And here is why I get pissed about this. Is because these young psychics coming up learn this shit from TV and turn around and do it.
If I'd done that to somebody in my area,
Mm-hmm.
I would probably be waking up on the floor.
Right. And
Because
there's a new one.
it's not the thing to do. If somebody is missing a loved one, they need to approach us. I've never, ever, ever seen it that we need to approach anybody.
No, you shouldn't approach anybody.
No.
And there's a new blonde kid. I don't know who the hell this is. I've seen him a few times out there. Tyler Henson.
And breathe.
This kid, and I do mean kid because he's like 20 something, has not studied enough.
No.
Okay. And I'm not discouraging because I used to be that 19-year-old psychic. I get that. But the bullshit he has done on TV is ridiculous. He has gotten hot readings, which means his team has pre-screened, pre-researched, and then he's acting like he doesn't know these people when he's reading Hollywood stars on TV.
He's reading through a script.
He is reading through a script.
Yeah.
Let me see.
See, and that's how it should be, Brenda. I would never, ever consider walking up to somebody, even a friend,
Mm-hmm.
and saying things, because that's not what it's about.
Right.
I want my friendship to be built on genuine friendship.
Yeah.
Not what I can tell the person.
Mm-hmm. Well, not only that, but I understand TV is TV. And this is probably why half the people on TV annoy me nowadays. We don't see authentic readers. We don't see readers that have done pre-work. Okay? We don't see people that, you don't see the premiere psychic on TV.
I'm just going to say, you don't see old-fashioned reading.
No.
you don't see the uniqueness of how people work.
Right.
I was asked to go on TV, and I was like, no. And they were like, why not? Because I read my own style, I work my own way, and I'm nobody's slave.
Right.
I work for myself. You could guarantee as soon as you get on that TV, you can't work out in any way that you have been.
Right. Yeah. I don't do this.
No.
Okay. And then, reminds me of a frat boy band they used to make up and publicize. Agreed.
Yeah.
I find it interesting that these people you don't see on networks. You've never seen them on a network.
No.
You've never seen them do, they have like 2 years wait list and they're charging exorbitant amounts of money. John Edwards, he's earned it at this point.
Yeah.
Chris Dufresne, he earned it at this point.
The thing is, the way I look at it, you start on the networks to get your name out there.
Yeah.
You've got to start at the bottom and work your way up.
Exactly. You've got to do the fairs. What I would love to see is some real fucking psychic work on TV.
Yeah.
Pick Monkey, whatever production company. You want to come see real psychics work? Come see real psychics work.
Yeah.
But I'm tired of these starry-eyed readings. I'm tired of these. Example, one of the few, first shows that I watched with Prosciutto on there. And yes, I know I mispronounced her name, and there's a reason for that. Was, I sage and cleanse after, before every reading in front of and I am like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
The number of clients we see in a day, we would be exhausting the supply of sage in the world if we saged and cleansed the. No, you set your reading space and you move on. There's a few.
That's exactly why you don't do pounce on readings, because those energies. You get 1 million people walking through a shop every day.
Right.
What do you think happens? They walk in, they walk out, their energies are gone. No, that's not the case.
Right.
Energies linger.
Right.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now, there is one, Chip Coffey. He is probably the most honest online television psychic I have ever seen. Love him to death. He's a real, I've met him. I've been at his shows. He does real fucking old mediumship.
Yeah. And that's what people need to see.
Exactly. There's another one, and I don't remember her name. I just remember that her sign when she was working was she wore a hat. When she took her hat off, she was off duty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those types of psychics, you can tell they're real. The other thing is you can go and see their work.
Yeah.
Okay.
If somebody ever says to me, are you good at your job? My answer always is, I'm told so, but I never judge on my own work. Just look at my reviews.
Right. Now, people don't like that I really like Sylvia Brown. Yeah, she was wrong. Guess what? Every fucking psychic's been wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Nobody's perfect.
Nobody's perfect.
Because people have still got their own free will as well. That's one big thing you need to take in mind.
Right. And that's the thing that people do not think. Current averaging for psychic accuracy is around 87% or above. Yeah. And the lowest is 80% to be a professional psychic.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we are tested. You just can't jump on lines and say, oh, I'm now a psychic. If only it was that easy.
Oh, they can. They do.
Oh. It's ridiculous. I would prefer to be tested.
I would prefer government organization testing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the reason I'm part of Psychic Directory.
Yeah.
We're tested, we're shot tested, we're secret shoppered all the time.
Yeah. And I love that.
Yes.
Because
I wish
shows
Bob
the
would go international, but he can't do the background checks international.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
What an interesting show we've had tonight.
It is. It started out talking one way and we went another, but that happens.
Next week we got to dress up, don't forget.
Oh, that's right. I've got to pull out the Imperial outfit of the Royal.
You're not going out to that one.
I know. I've got all the stuff ready for it. All right. Yes, circumstances can change. A reading gives a scenario that might play out. It does. And here's the thing about it. It's like GPS. And what I mean by that is, and I used to say, my readings are like watching a video on fast forward. I have to get the information I need, which is still true. But some people don't know what the hell VHS is anymore.
Yeah.
So it's like GPS. If you pop into your GPS right now, how to get to the grocery store, and you look at that map and you go, okay, I go up, I turn left, I turn right, I'll be there in 5 minutes. And you go up and instead of turning right, you turn left. It could take you 20 to 30 minutes to get there.
Yeah.
But if you go out your door, sit in your car and never start your engine,
you're not going anywhere in life.
But but GPS told you you'd be there in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like when we're asked, when will I get a job? Have you applied for one? No. Well, never then.
You have to take action. Your actions are your choices. The reading is the suggested actions you need to take.
Yeah. Actions have consequences.
They do. And the reader's position is to give you the most optimal consequences available. However, and this gets on my last nerve, because I've seen it fuck up so many situations.
Yes.
Is if you go and you ask Google how to get to the closest grocery store. Then you hop on Wave and you ask it how to get to the grocery store. Then you hop on Yahoo and ask it how to get. You asking 15 to 70 psychics while sitting in your car.
Well, you could have been there, done your jobs, and be home.
Well, not only that, but they're all going to give you different directions.
Yeah.
And by the time you get down the road, your brain is so twisted, you end up nowhere. Why isn't he called? Because you've had 100 different fucking people in his house looking at him.
It's time to come in and go to bed. Give it up for the day.
Yeah. It is, and we will add that to our show topics, Devin.
Yes.
Because astral projection is quite interesting, and there's multiple levels of seeing it and doing it.
Yeah.
Readings can also be a warning. If you continue doing what you're doing, I see this happening. So learn from it and make new choices to avoid it. Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Definitely. All right. So we kind of touched on your week. What's your work schedule this week?
Back to normal after tomorrow. I've got Parker tomorrow, so it's a bit hit and miss.
Mm-hmm.
Because he comes first, obviously.
Right.
And then I'm back to normal hours then the rest of the week.
Which are? We get new readers, new listeners all the time. That's why you have
to... You know what the fucking time is? Do you know it's nearly bedtime for me?
I know.
Between 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning until, I'm going to say around 11:30 on Life Reader. For Tunica, it's 8:30, 9 o'clock till 9 in the evening. But I do take quite a few hours off around lunchtime because I need to recharge my batteries.
Yes. And I'm on midnights. And I'm doing a little bit of an evening shift. And then also you can join me on my TikTok on Wednesday at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You can go into my profile, click the little calendar, and add it to your thing. We're going to have a cup of coffee. We're going to chat. We're going to do some readings. We're going to have some fun. Then we have gallery reading on Saturday, and I believe that's at 6 p.m. Patrons, be looking for your notices with your code so you can go and do that. For both of us, the second for Hazel around the 26th, I think. So yes, we will be continuing this time during both time changes. So
because we haven't got a show the first week of November.
Right. We take that off for Guy Fawkes Day.
Yeah. So that works in well, because by the time the other show comes around, we'll have steadied out times up again.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, yeah.
That'll be the fun part. But yeah, we will not be on the 1st of November.
Not the 1st, it's the 4th of November.
4th of November.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
You know.
Need sleep.
I don't need sleep. I need more caffeine. I'm not even awake yet.
See, Brenda knows.
Yeah, she understands all those revelations we go through.
She do. She just got to confuse things.
Huh?
She just confuses things.
No, we all confuse things. But at the same time, you guys can reach us. You can visit my website, aesonknight.com. You can reach me on Life Reader. You can reach me on Bob Orman's Best Psychic Directory. You can reach me on Keen. Do you really care? Yeah, she probably does, because she's got a huge metaphysical friends connection. All right, guys. So we've had a great time. We covered a lot of things. We've got one more topic for this month, which is the true history of Halloween. That's what we're talking about next week.
And that's why we're dressing up.
Yes, that's why we're dressing up. We're going to be talking about everything from the Irish way to Britain not doing it for so many years and why.
And Brenda, you got a job this week. Brenda, you need to remind him numerous, copious amounts of times that he needs to dress up.
Oh, honey,
that's your job for this week.
I enjoy being in costume. All right. So with that, guys, you guys have a magical week. Come see me Tuesday at 8 p.m. here at the Psychic Coffee Shop. I've got a guest this week. Oh, you wrote a cake recipe to Brenda.
Which one is it, Brenda? Was it the Barra Breath?
It's the one you made recently.
That's probably the Barra Breath.
Yep.
Brenda wants the Welsh cakes. Yes.
All right, guys. You guys have a great evening. We will see you later. Bye, y'all.
Bye.